I made $500 with the week. We're all closed out here. And that is a realized P&L that's come into the account. People say that MicroStrategy is a very volatile stock and all these good things. It is. I'm not going to lie to you and say that it isn't. However, when you take the steps that I'm going to outline in this video, you've got more than a 98% probability chance of making money. So, and what you'll also see is I actually started this with doing a credit spread, and then I took off the actual purchase put and then just treat them as naked puts because my account allowed me to. But again, you can just do this through put spreads, right? If you're concerned about the volatility of a stock, you can do that as well. It does cap your kind of gain that you can make. At the same time, you're still making money regardless. So this is what we're going to walk through in today's video. Now, I've got TradingView open, and again, links down below if you want to pick up TradingView. It's absolutely free. I'm just going to hide all that stuff because it's not relevant for what it is. All you need is one indicator, and that's the RSI. And I'm on the daily chart, and what I'm looking for is on the daily chart or higher, right? And we'll look at the weekly in a second, is where has MicroStrategy been mainly oversold is kind of what I'm looking for as opposed to overbought in this example. Is you can see here, I highlight over it, it started to get oversold in this area around here. Now it's dropped further since then, which is fine. What I'm looking for is once it gets oversold is starting to have a look at the implied volatility of the stock and start looking at patterns of some sort where we can start getting into the stock for a potential put option opportunity. Now, as you know, when you sell a put option, you're obviously going to sell out the money. And when you sell out the money, you still have some downside protection there, not only because the price has to get to your put price, but also your break even is the put strike plus the credit that you receive. So that's one good thing about selling puts as opposed to buying stock at this level over here, because you'll be down at the moment if that was the case. So my view is I like to find overextended stocks that at least in a 1 to 2 week period have an opportunity to either stay flat where they are, they can go down a little bit, or ideally that they go up a little bit. So therefore I can capture all of that premium. So once it gets into this territory, I don't straight away look to go sell put options. So like I said, I start looking at the implied volatility and then start looking at some candlestick patterns here to understand, and Bollinger Bands as well. But again, you don't really need them in terms of where should I be placing my strike. Now, the bit I really liked was this hammer candle over here, this green candle here, which kind of signified the low. So the next day when the market opened, I then placed a trade at the 137 strike. And you can see that ever since then, it's gone back up and the options expired worthless. And if I go back to this, and then I look at what I did is, so I bought back the 137 puts and I raised it up to 155, right? So that's where I did. I moved up from 133. I actually moved it up to 155 to generate more income back to where that low of that hammer candle is. And again, if MicroStrategy started to go down, I would roll it out for another week, down and out. There's a lot of volatility inside the stock, but I took a situation here of where it was oversold. What also really I enjoyed about MicroStrategy was if you go to the weekly chart, it's also oversold on the weekly. And again, you have to go back down to these levels over here where it was kind of flat move of when this happened. And again, weekly chart oversold, overbought are opportunities of where you need to be looking at. Should you be looking at risk reversals? Again, if you look at over here at the peak, it starts to go back down. Over here never made it, but here we've got one. Last one here was back in mid-2022, right? 3 years ago. So is how I kind of look at stocks and how I make money selling put options or call options, whatever they mean. But generally, I do them to sell put options. I look for oversold areas on the daily and on the weekly. On the weekly and daily, that's like your dream situation here. And then we look for whether it's support and resistance, candles, Bollinger Bands, whatever you want to use as another confirmation factor. But that's where I start looking. So what tools do I use to go find these kind of situations? So the first one is that just over my trading career, I've built watch lists, right? So these are all the stocks I probably traded once upon a time. Half of them I probably don't trade anymore. But one of the things that TradingView has, if you go to technicals, you can sort by oversold stocks. So again, if we have a look at Spotify, for example, just because it's here, just look at anything else a bit juicy. So MicroStrategy is in there, it's at 37 now, because obviously it's gone back up slightly. There's nothing else really in there, but let's have a look at Spotify. So if we go to Spotify, and this is on the weekly. So you can see here on the weekly, it's not oversold, but it's getting there. So if it ever gets to this level, and again, it's trying to just be patient with it, right? Like it might just go up from here and make all-time highs, and you miss out on the opportunity. Like there's thousands of stocks out there. You don't need to be married to one particular stock. But you can see here, it's kind of, get rid of that. Yeah, it's kind of like the second time, but it's the lowest it's been in a while. You can see earnings isn't that far away. So this could be a candidate of where, you want to be selling like a couple of weeks out, like the 540, 535. It is a big stock. So again, most people would just buy a wing and then just spread it. And that's what you can do. Because at some point it has to stall its movement, or enough of a stall of the movement, even if it goes sideways for a little bit, just to do it. Because even yesterday it was up 0.5%. So not saying they won't continue further today. This is the analysis that I go through. So how do we build out these stocks? Now, the best way I kind of do this is look at something like FinViz. So FinViz, this is, again, you can just build out the metric and then just save it in your favorite. So what I do is I look at the technicals, oversold 30. You can do the other way, oversold 70 if you really wanted to. And then I sort it by market cap. So again, Spotify's in there. So again, I look at all these companies and I'm like, none of these are really interesting. Like, I don't really want to trade Motorola and things like that. So again, what we'll see is the price. So you might have some, can't see any like $17 stocks in there, things like that. The reason why is because there aren't any stocks that fit that criteria at the moment. So that's why I went hard with 3 contracts for MicroStrategy. So just if you wanted to see what it looks like on the other side, look at oversold 70. Again, you got things like Walmart. So again, let's have a look at Walmart just to see what it looks like. I think it's WMT, I think, from memory. But wow, what's going on over here? So it looks like they just had earnings and they absolutely smashed it. So again, now you can see here. But again, if we look at the last 3 times, right? So we've had a spike up here, right? Even at the high of this spike, that was up 4%. The high was 104.72. And the low was 103. So it's only $1 move. Again, spikes up, right? And then the high was 107 and the high there 109, $3 move, right? So again, you can sell calls or spread them up here. And again, it started to go, here was the day, 0.7, 1.2. So again, it's up. So when the first time we went oversold, the high was 112. It's up $2, right? In the day. So let's just have a look at the weekly. Probably not. It's starting to get there. And again, we've got scenarios here on the weekly, right? Where again, it continues to make some highs, makes that a little bit of a dip. Now, remember, this dip here is going to be a massive dip. Right? It was high for a while, and now we're starting to edge back up there. So here might be a situation of where we want to start looking at it. And the reason why I prefer it on the downside when it comes to moves like this, as opposed to on the upside, is because I always have the ability to take assignment if I want to, or to dollar cost average in, because I'd rather go in on the way up than you can't really dollar cost average in on a shorting position if you really want to hedge it on the way back down. But eventually it does have these moves. These moves here is the ones that you're looking for to get you out of these positions. And the same thing will happen here eventually. I just don't know when, but that's why you got to take the volatility into account and try sell them up here somewhere. Because if it does go all the way up here, then you can get it back down. A lot of it will do in the implied volatility. It's not come up on any of my scanners. So it's not really one that I really look at or I'm interested in currently trading. But this is the logic that I do. So start building yourself a watch list. Start looking at oversold, overbought on FinViz to get you into a situation where you can start having a collection of stocks. Just look at them once a day. And also, this is a good tool to dollar cost average into your favorite stocks. So if MicroStrategy, if you want a bit of Bitcoin exposure and you don't own Bitcoin, again, buying a share or half a share or something of MicroStrategy could be interesting because it is a volatile stock. And if it gets back to all-time highs, if Bitcoin gets back to all-time highs, if you're a Bitcoin bull, then being in MicroStrategy may not be a bad shout to do. So really hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.